Hi, welcome everybody. Hello, hello. In yesterday's talk, I told you of, or we spoke about, the idea of floating in a stream, and I gave you the story of my 5-year-old, 5.5-year-old nephew who's learning to get in the water and trust the life vest and realize that there's no way that he can actually go underwater, that the buoyancy of life, right, the buoyancy of the stream and the life vest will hold him above water. And so now there's a freedom to just float. I wanted to go in that a little bit deeper, I guess. And we'll say the buoyancy of the authentic self, your true nature. What you actually are isn't the body and it isn't the identity. These are expressions of what we actually are, but it's not what we actually are. Yes? Your life itself. You are reality itself. You are existence itself, which is formless, infinite, and eternal. And from that, then we express, and as we express our formlessness, we express it into form, in the form of thought, and in the form of physical forms, and everything around us are all different aspects or levels of our formlessness, or what we would call consciousness, in form. So the buoyancy of the authentic self, if we continue on with this analogy, is like this. Right now, we feel, well, I'm me. Every time I say I or me, there's a whole character description or an identity that we're attaching to that feeling of just existing or being. The pure existence, the feeling of just being, is the authentic self knowing itself. We say awareness knowing awareness, or consciousness aware of consciousness. And then there's an overlay of the identity or the character, which then we're giving life to. And through that identity, we're saying, well, this is who I believe myself to be. We believe this is who we are. It's not who we are, but we're believing, we're being alive in thoughts. That creates our identity. And then we have as the identity that we're giving life to, it creates more thoughts about the world. And those thoughts, we say, affect us, affect our identity. So the buoyancy of the authentic nature means this, that if we're giving life and living as an identity, which are, again, only a bunch of thoughts or concepts that feel real now, that's why we're saying, but this is who I am. Yes. We're holding on, getting back to that analogy of floating down a river, or even we say in the ocean, but we'll say a river. You're floating down the river, and because, in a sense, you're afraid of not holding on to your identity, you're constantly grabbing for logs. And let's say there's a boulder, so you try to grab the boulder. Yeah? But life is going to keep moving, so you lose your grip. You grab onto the log, but the log is slippery, and so you're constantly grabbing on to logs and boulders, trying to hold yourself in place as the identity, to say, okay, I'm okay. But the logs and the boulders, which we're speaking of, right? The analogy is those are ideas or thoughts of ourselves that we're constantly trying to hold on to and keep. And by holding on to them and keeping them, they give us a sense of floating or a sense of safety and security. Well, I know this much about me, so you're holding on to it and you're floating down the river. But I know, and you're afraid to let go, because what happens if you let go? You're afraid you're going to go under the water. But if you really knew the truth, you would realize, oh, I'm already the buoyancy. There's plenty of buoyancy in my body. If I just relaxed, I would literally float on top of the water. Yeah? But we keep grabbing onto things. Again, these things we're grabbing onto are aspects of our identity. We're holding on to them. We're saying, I need this to feel safe and secure. I need a nice home to feel safe and secure. I need to be able to pay my rent to feel safe and secure. I need to be able to have a relationship to feel safe and secure. I need to have a really strong, healthy, fit body to feel safe and secure. I need. All these needs we think we need, we don't really need them to feel, to be safe and secure, not just feel, but to actually realize what's going on. Now, they're okay to have. I'm not saying you don't have to give any of this up, by the way. This is not the point. Please understand me. You don't have to give any of it up. You can have wealth and health and fitness and love and joy and success and fulfillment. All of that is wonderful. All of that is here for you. However, if you're clinging to it, as if I lose this, I'm not going to feel good about myself, lack of safety and security. You don't feel whole and complete until you get it back. That's the problem. That's what's causing pain and suffering. When you begin to realize your authentic nature, the buoyancy of the authentic nature, you realize that not only can you never go below the water, but you realize that, in a sense, you are the buoyancy that keeps everything above. You are life itself. Life itself is the buoyancy. Life itself, which is what you are, is the flow. Then you float above. You are the buoyancy that's above. There's nothing that can actually pull you down into the and the worry and the anxieties and the pain and the suffering of the mental, emotional concepts. Do you grasp that? Because it's big. Really, really recognize that even right now, the stuff that you're saying, I wish I had that, or I really need that, or I'm afraid that this is going to happen, or something's happening and you're afraid of what the outcome's going to be, right? Or you have all these unanswered worries. Well, what we don't know what's ever going to happen. What are we going to do? All of these things you're grasping to try and find a log to hold on to make you feel safe and secure about it. You don't need to. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Once you begin to really awaken, to really realize the pure sense of existing, this is your authentic, this is life itself, realizing itself, experiencing itself, directly experiencing, not intellectually saying, oh yeah, I understand that. No. You can't use the mind, but that's what we're used to using. You let go of that and you just feel the sense of existing. Don't think. If you're saying, oh, it's me, Dave, who's feeling myself being alive, then that's the mind. You can let go of the whole idea of thinking, okay, it's me and I get it now. That's the mind. Let go of that. And there's just a sense of existing. This is your true nature. And this is the flow. This is life flowing, being. And you realize how incredibly powerful that is. So, the buoyancy of the authentic nature. I highly recommend it. Thanks for spending the time with me today, guys. I have one more video for you this week. We'll see you tomorrow. Take good care. Bye-bye.